Once finding out about the Luka Doncic trades, Kevin Durant calls out the loyalty double standard after the Luka Doncic trades. Kevin Durant was quoted saying, "Where is this quarter? Boom, here you go, right here. Insane," said Durant, who's learned about the trade in the middle of the Suns game. The loss to Portland is crazy. It's crazy. Never thought Luka Doncic would be traded at this age mid-season. The NBA is a wild place, man. If he can get traded, then anybody is up for grabs. He said it's always transactional. Players are held to a different level of loyalty and commitment to a program, but the organization do not get held to that same standard from the outside world, whether it's from the media, members, or fans. We all should be held to the same standard. It's transactional game. It's a lot of money involved, a lot of business involved. We shouldn't be shocked about trades or guys moving to different teams or coaches moving to a different team. It's just the nature of playing basketball and us making this much money. It's pretty wild times in the NBA. Kevin Durant was cooking on that point. Kevin Durant was cooking, Sean, cooking on that point. The one point right when he said, players are held to a different level of loyalty and commitment to a program, but the organization don't get held to the same standards from the outside world, whether from media members or fans. Facts, Sean, facts. Kevin Durant cooked. I just see so many players get crucified and so many organizations get praised for trading people or getting players to a certain situation or middle of the championship team. But if I go somewhere as a player, they go crucify me. That's facts. Well, what's your reaction to Kevin Durant's statement? Kevin Durant cooked, in my opinion.
It was a good message.
For once, I'm proud of you, KD. I'm proud of you, KD, for once.
Maybe not the best messenger, but it was a good message. Let me say this really quickly. The loyalty in sports has always been a farce. It's always been a farce. I don't think there's loyalty in sports. Now, I think there's professionalism in sports that has to exist from both sides.
Yep.
Players have to be professional. If you're being played to be a professional, organizations have to be professional as a professional organization. That's where I think the lines get blurry at times.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's as much as we want to say it's a partnership, it's not.
It's a business.
It's a business, and these players work for said business. And you work at the discretion of said business.
Yes,
if said business decides they want to move on, that's their prerogative. How they handle wanting you to move on and wanting to move on from you is a bigger issue, I believe. Yes. Two things to consider. Number one, and again, I tell you all the time, when it comes to these teams behind me, I root for the laundry first. I root for the laundry first. Who's wearing it is inconsequential. I may not like a player who wears the laundry, but I'm rooting for the laundry first.
Okay, that went on my head a little bit. I ain't gonna hold. That was a good one. But I caught it. I got it now, but it went on my head a little bit. But I got it now though. That was a good one.
Yes. So that's the way it is. You're a Bulls fan, regardless of who has on a Bulls jersey. You will be a Bulls fan.
Unfortunately,
right. Difficult as that may be. So I think the central point is my loyalties and my ability to root for that team lies in the laundry, not in who's wearing it. I don't always agree with who's wearing it. I don't always agree with the decision makers. And I have a right as a fan to say, you know what? I'm putting that down. Doesn't happen. It only happened once in my life, which we're not going to get into. But generally speaking, I root for the laundry. I will say, just to be very clear, loyalty in sports does not exist, but professionalism, showing up, doing your job, being respectful in that job from both sides should exist. And that's the part that I think is missing. Luka, from my perspective, got disrespected by the way the Mavs handled trading him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to come back to bite them.
I never thought Luka would get traded before Trae Young. Remember that? He always compared their trade.
Well, this is his third time being traded. His second time being traded, excuse me, because he got traded on draft night.
Technically, yeah. But remember, Trae Young been on the trade, like he's still locked in. That's crazy. Shout out Trae, by the way.
You know,
so should have been an all-star.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I think again it comes back down to this is an indictment on the media. I don't play favorites. I don't play I like this guy and I don't like this guy. No, we just try to tell you what it is and what we believe it is and our perspective on that. But again, the Mavs mishandled this situation badly. And they did Luka wrong by not at least bringing him and his people in the room and saying, hey, we're having conversations with other teams about you that are interested in you.
That's it. Or, hey, we want Anthony Davis. We finna trade you to LA. Simple.
But even before you do that, just say, hey, listen, we're having conversations about you, right? Mm-hmm. Just so you get a heads up. So, the fact that it didn't get out was, I think, part because they didn't tell anybody outside of Nico and Rob Lowe, a.k.a. Rob Pelinka, talking. Mm-hmm. But, at the end of the day,
or you could have called him when the trade was done, but before it got announced. As soon as we agree, click. We finna announce it at. We finna announce it at. It was 10 o'clock. We finna announce it at 10 o'clock. They probably agreed at 9:30 ish.
Well,
whatever. You should have called them right after y'all said agree.
Well, again, and I don't know if they didn't do that. I'm pretty sure they did that part. I'm talking about the process. Normally, players know. They have a sense from their reps, at least, hey, you're in some trade talks. Nothing's guaranteed, but just know you're in some trade talks, So they know that. He did not know that.
Nope.
And from what I gather, his representatives didn't know that. That's why it was such a shock to him and to everyone else.
Yeah, Luka ain't finna bat no mention. He finna get traded out. You could one thing I did you can bring up all the antics. People try to say themselves. When a trade was bad, it was something that you shouldn't have been done. When people asked the reporter, Shams, was he hacked because it's so unbelievable? And then the first thing you do, instead of talking about the new players you got, you were to be defending why you traded him. Y'all made every excuse in the world talking about he fat, he ballooned, he was too I'm trying to say it in naggy. I'm gonna say naggy. He was too naggy to the refs. Whatever he had, I don't want to hear all that. This is an international superstar that you cannot replace. You're not getting Luka Doncic is not walking out. This is a generational talent. It's just not walking back up to your organization. At the end of the day, you knew you shouldn't have did this, or at least if you're going to do it, get enough for him. And I don't like that people was trying to say, well, people when I say that, or somebody said oh, y'all act like Anthony Davis is a slouch. Nobody said Anthony Davis was a slouch. The problem is this ain't 6 years ago. If this happened 6 years ago where Anthony Davis was 25, 26, nobody probably wouldn't bat an eye because it's Anthony Davis young. Anthony Davis is 30 plus. And then he add the emphasis of Luka's weight. But the point of bringing up Luka's weight is you're worried about injuries. And Anthony Davis has been known to have injuries. He's an injury-prone player. So it's like you pretty much polishing poo and trying to tell me it's a filet mignon steak. You spit in my face and telling me it's raining. Who you think we're stupid? You're not making stuff now. You can just say you favor when you like the guy, but no, don't lie. Just keep it a bean. Y'all try. Hey, look, we want it. We ain't rocking with Luka. We want AD. AD got us better. He could have kept it as simple as that. Simple as that. All that he ballooned, the weight, injuries. That's all just trying to douse a fire that you made. That's it. Now, Sean, we got to go to more trade. Unless you got one more thing to say on the Luka thing, or you could. Another trade did happen, and it ain't getting as much as attention because Fox kind of said he wanted to be a trade. Well, Fox didn't say he wanted to be traded. It's kind of been brewing that
it's been talked about.
Been talked about, kind of, and then because he didn't sign the extension, and I guarantee, hey Fox, what's going on? What you want to do? We want to give you this extension. We want to